folks, welcome to Digipack Snacks. My name is Colin.
And I'm Meg.
And we are your hosts for this here podcast where we chat about all things high, all things low, and the long miles in between of traveling with kids.
That's right. That's what we do here.
And today we got a special episode for you because we're doing a Q&A.
We are? We pulled the people on.
It was your idea, Megan.
No, I just didn't know if you were done talking. We haven't gotten our bouncing rhythm quite down, for this here podcast. But we pulled the people on Instagram. We asked them basically what questions do they have for us, and we're answering them here live on the podcast. We got some
interesting ones. But first, I want to preface. I think your brain is a little bit scattered because of the week that we're having.
Yeah, well, we're prepping to leave the country for 2 weeks, and there's just a lot of lists. And honestly, I feel really prepared. And the only reason that I feel prepared today, I'm getting so close to the end, it's because tonight, me and some girlfriends are watching the finale of The Summer I Turned Pretty.
That's your motivation?
It's fine if you don't watch that show. You can be happy for me that I enjoy it. And they were kind enough, because the finale came out on Friday, but we watch it together. And I said, well, girls, we got to figure out.
And I watch it while I do the dishes and kind of peek my head over.
Yeah. Well, I was like, girls, we got to figure out a night that we can fit this in before I leave, or else I knew they'd watch it without me, which is totally understandable. I'm going to be gone. But they made tonight work. So even though we're getting up at the crack of dawn tomorrow morning to leave, you betcha.
Right.
I'm going to be packed so that I can enjoy the finale with my girls. We gotta
know whether Belly ends up with Conrad or Jeremiah.
Well, and I've already read the book, so I know, but it's just still fun to watch it happen on TV.
Are you Team Conrad or Team Jeremiah? Even though you know the outcome, which brother do you like more, though?
Oh, I think I'm Team Conrad only because the heart wants what the heart wants. Yeah, but it plays out in an interesting way.
Okay.
Tune in, read the book, or don't. That's fine. But that is why I'm determined to get everything done.
Yeah.
By tonight.
I'm just determined to get everything done because we haven't traveled as a family in ages.
Yeah, like 4 months.
And I'm just excited to get the nerves out of the way.
Yeah, just to board the plane.
Once we get past security, once we're on the plane, seats are buckled, then I can breathe my sigh of relief.
Yeah, I get that. I kind of feel that way traveling in general. When you're headed to the beach, there's just a lot of prep work to do on any vacation or any trip. This isn't a vacation because we're working the whole time. But it's like that build up right until the point where you actually get to have that exhale, that sigh of relief. You've packed what you've packed. If you forgot it, oh well. Right. No turning back now. You'll figure it out.
And I just feel this extra pressure because it's not like we're just going to a destination. This trip is not normal because we're going on a very historic flight. Right. And we're sitting in row 1A because I am the biggest geek, the biggest nerd. I've been, hunting for these flights for ages. And they finally Atlantic Airways launched their first ever direct flight from the U.S. to the Faroe Islands. And their first flight is on Wednesday. And that's what we're doing.
And we're in the front row.
And so there's just a lot of pressure.
Not because we're in first class. It's just there is no first class.
Yeah. It's a smaller, aircraft. And so, but yeah, there's a lot of excitement in me bubbling up.
Yeah, and I'm also excited just about getting there. It's one of these destinations with which, if you're not familiar, the Faroe Islands are a tiny, tiny little dot on the map between Iceland and Denmark in the middle of the ocean. That's what makes them islands, Megan. Thanks for explaining that.
Oh, Iceland and Scotland.
Iceland and Scotland.
They are under Danish rule.
Right. Sorry, I mixed that up. But they're really small in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
But they're beautiful. Like cliffs meet the mountains. We've probably chatted about this before, but it's been a long time coming that we've wanted to explore there because we love being outside. We love being outside with our kids. So it's really got the makeup to be just great. Right. A great experience for us. So I'm really excited. I'm getting very excited now that the to-do lists are whittling down.
It's whittling, but it's going to be a long night, and our alarms are going to be set for 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Yay.
Yay.
Okay, so our podcast is called Did You Pack Snacks? Have we packed the snacks yet? This is a real life question from dad to mom. Have we done it yet?
Yeah, I did. I went to Target this morning and I grabbed a couple things.
Even for the kids?
Even for the kids, because you said, you were like, it's okay. We'll get them at the airport. And you know what, man? That is mistake number one.
I don't think so.
Because what if we get to the airport and sometimes when you get to the airport at 5 a.m., Hennessy News is not even open yet. The only thing that might be open is Starbucks, which means that our girls will get a cake pop and a bag of cheese popcorn. And that's what we'll have to hold them over until we land our first flight.
Is it called Hennessy News?
I think so.
That's the name of the store?
Well, it's the name of one of the airport convenience stores.
Hudson News.
Oh, it's Hudson.
Hudson News.
Hudson News.
Well, you know what?
So I just packed an extra couple snacks as we encourage parents to do here on the pod. I packed a couple extra snacks just to be extra prepared that when hunger hits, I'm ready.
Okay, you did strike a nerve though when you mentioned Hudson News, and I think it's one of the biggest crimes in our history of mankind.
Seriously, a bottle of water, $3.
No,
a bag
more.
of chips, $5.
I mean, that store can say any number they want.
Yeah.
And they'll get it.
Because at that point, when you're trapped in an airport, you have no other choice.
Right. This is Did You Pack Snacks podcast versus Hudson News. Come at us.
Come at us. I just want there to be like a Dollar Tree at the mall. Like, can't we just get a Dollar Tree?
Can we have a first dollar store at the airport?
Yeah, I just want to know. You don't have to have a big variety, but I would just love to be able to get water.
Water and M&Ms.
Or anything, a little beef jerky, maybe some healthy snacks. Like, you can sell an apple for $1.
Right.
You know,
it doesn't have to be $2.95.
Right. So yeah, that's what I'm going to petition. This is our second airport thing. The first time on a previous podcast, we were trying to get me voted into the welcoming committee at immigration at customs.
Yes.
Because we feel like that's really depressing.
Right. The first impression of America is really cold.
Really cold.
Yeah.
Really kind of like, we don't really care about you.
Right.
Yeah, I want to change that. And then the second thing that I want to change is dollar stores. Accessible snacks at the airport for those of us that are hungry.
Wow.
Let's changing airports one podcast at a time, or at least talking about
Speaking of changing podcasts, we joked about this. I mean, changing airports. We joked about this the other day, how that this time we were going to experiment. Remember? We were going to pack snacks for our kids, but we're going to pack extra.
Oh, right. So that if we see a kid in need, we can hand them hand them a snack.
Families
and then say,
in need.
We'll hand them a snack and say, hey, just so you know, we have a podcast about this.
But yeah, I also want to just like reach out to all the other grown-ups that are just having a hard time. Their shoulders are down. They are beaten down by the man, the system, and Hudson News.
And
we just want to say, hey, I bought this long time ago in bulk from Costco. Here you go.
I can afford to share.
Yeah.
I got this outside of the airport.
Yeah.
Well, those are some goals. Maybe we'll encounter some families in our airports the next few weeks, and
we'll see.
We'll circle back and tell you guys about them.
I can't wait.
I can't wait
to be Ellen DeGeneres at an airport.
And you get a snack. And it's more Oprah. What does Ellen do? Well, she gives everything away.
Everything.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone gets a snack.
We can be like, just choose, we can have 10 snacks, choose 10 families, random families, and go, hey, congratulations, you've been selected. Here's a free snack.
This cost me 50 cents. Yeah. Enjoy your prize. I hope your kid's not allergic to whatever I'm handing you.
Yeah.
Well, that is fun. We should definitely do that. And now, what are we going to do now?
Now we're jumping in. We're going to jump in.
We're going to jump in.
It's time to jump in.
I knew that it was time.
I wish we had a jump in button.
Or like some jump in transitional music.
Here we go.
We're switching from the banter to the meat of the episode.
Here's the jump in music. All right, so let's hit the questions that you guys sent in. Are we allowed to name names?
No, I think we always keep things anonymous here. Not that any of these questions are like...
Not that they're criminals.
But yeah, we just keep things anonymous here. That was a promise that we made the people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God would love to see this in paper. Question number 1. Let's see. I'm going to pick randomly from our board here. Okay, if you are traveling for 2 weeks with multiple climates and you are only bringing a backpack and a carry-on only, how would you even pack for that?
Well, you've got plan A and plan B.
Well, this is a female that's asking.
I know.
Okay. Because the answer for a male is just suck it up.
Okay. No, I've got two options for you.
Go.
Plan A is you pack just normally all the things that you would typically pack, but your warm stuff is smaller, so you can fit that mostly in your carry-on. Then you're going to have to wear your hoodie and carry your jacket onto the plane and wear your biggest boots. So plan A is don't really change anything if that stresses you out. And just try to carry or wear all the bulky stuff. Yeah. This gets a little tricky because you're probably going to get hot. And your boots probably aren't your primary footwear for a long plane ride.
Right.
So I've also seen that little hack where people stuff a pillowcase with like sweaters and jackets.
They're travel pillows. Yeah.
No, or just like a regular bed pillow.
Oh.
And they carry that on. I've never done that, so I can't speak to the success rate of this happening.
Yeah.
That's another option. Plan B, which is kind of our go-to, is you just want to pack in layers. So instead of bringing a bulky winter jacket, you're going to bring some thermal, like a base layer, thermal underwear, whatever you want to call it. Then you're going to bring your jeans and some short sleeve shirts, maybe long sleeve t-shirts. Then you're going to bring maybe a Sherpa or a warm hoodie. And then your outermost layer is going to be some kind of waterproof windbreaker.
Yeah.
And, it could be a little bit thick, but nothing like a winter jacket. Mm-hmm. So that when you're in your coldest climate, if you have all of those layers on, you're going to be warm.
It's all the thin layers.
But it's way easier to pack. And then when you're in your warm climate, you're going to have the ability to just drop most of the layers shed some layers and be comfortable in the warmer climate too.
Right.
I will say that the biggest thing in learning is when you're in the cold climate, all people are ever going to see you wearing is your jacket.
Outside. Yeah.
So you don't have to bring all those extra cute clothes that are only going to be under your jacket the entire time. So save some space by just re-wearing a lot of the same things underneath. No one's going to see it. They're going to see you in your cute beanie, your outer jacket, and maybe some cute shoes.
And I would say like color palette too. If we're going in aesthetics here, like go neutral. Don't do stripes. Don't do patterns.
Yeah. Stay as neutral as you can so that you can mix and match everything.
Right.
And then for the warmer climate, that's way easier because you can pack 4 tank tops or short sleeve t-shirts and 2 pairs of shorts and be good for a week.
Right.
So I would say the warmer layers, just be like a little bit mindful. Hey, I'm not showcasing this outfit like I think I may be when you're when you're in a warmer climate. You're kind of showing off your outfits a little bit more. So I'd pay more attention to what you pack for that.
The thermal base layer thing is the biggest thing.
It makes a huge difference.
Right.
Especially if you wear them under your jeans.
Yeah.
We make sure that our girls wear them under everything when we're somewhere that's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
So I'm hot natured, so I don't ever wear them, but it works for most people.
Right. I mean, I can't live without them. So that's what I would say.
That's true. You're always cold. Okay. Next question.
You get to pick.
If money was not real, plan the perfect trip.
This is just a hard one.
Oh, I've got an answer.
Because my answer for tomorrow or tonight will be different from the one now that I just conjure up.
Well, we're asking you just now. No one's holding you to this. It's supposed to be fun.
So much pressure.
It's supposed to be fun.
Okay, if you're asking me now, today, at this moment, someone asked me that, I would just go, I would mail all my friends a cool invitation. I would bring a lot of people with me, and they would get something in the mail that says something like, these are your tickets and you're gonna meet us here, and that place will be I'm gonna go to, gosh, why is this so hard, Megan?
I don't know.
Because it's me. Let's just say it was my birthday. I'm gonna say we're gonna go to England.
Okay.
Because we're gonna go, everyone's gonna come with me. We're gonna have a party to watch a Manchester United game. We would get like nice seats, and then after that, we would just, after we watch a game, because you gotta involve sports, and then we jet over to watch animals. I'm combining trips. Is that okay?
Sure. Money's not
Money's not a thing.
issue,
So we
yeah.
would fly out of Heathrow and land in either Uganda, Zambia, somewhere in Africa. And then maybe we would even hike Tanzania. We would even hike the Kilimanjaro. So we would do like a posh England night out mixed with let's go backpacking and see animals and see nature.
Would your invitation when you invite people on this trip include a stipend for a physical trainer so that everyone was ready to hike said mountain? Or would you just pay for horses to carry anybody up that got tired?
Yeah, Sherpas, everything, tour guides and everything. And then we would, of course, stay in like, I don't want to stay in posh hotels. I want to stay in like luxury eco resorts. So like we are one with the nature.
I love it.
Yep.
Are you ready for mine?
Go for it.
Okay, so mine's similar. I would invite endless people.
Endless.
If you are in my brain and I think that you're fun, you are getting an invite. You are coming on this vacation.
I'd even bring a chef and a DJ.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, my thought was that we're going and we're bringing our kids because
they have babysitters.
Because we're hiring babysitters.
Because there's
you
a kids
betcha.
club. The
Yes.
kids club is included.
Is this my vacation or yours?
It's together. I don't know.
I guess you're invited.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, so our first stop with all these people, I'm going to say that there's like 50 of us are going.
Wow.
With kids.
So fun.
We're going to get to Tokyo.
Oh.
We're going to rent out a massive hotel. We're going to bring summer staffers. They're going to put on day camps or night camps because we're going to explore as families during the day. But then at night, we're going to drop our kids off and they're going to have these epic camp experiences at the hotel. They're not even going to miss us. But then I picked Tokyo because it's so fun. And we get to all just relish in the food and the karaoke and just the shopping and the nightlife. Like we're going out and we're going hard. And our kids, when we get back, those babysitters, we trust them.
Right.
They're going to be vetted.
Background
checks galore.
Yeah.
They're going to have put all the children to sleep.
Wow.
So that when we get back to the hotel, we're also going to sleep. But that's only part one.
Oh.
Leg two of this experience is that all 50 of us are flying now to Fiji. And once we get to Fiji...
Tokyo to Fiji.
Yeah, it's kind of far, but whatever.
It's not, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, same like area on the globe.
Sure.
We're going to get to Fiji and we're renting out an all-inclusive. And same kind of vibe. We're going to be relaxing just as adults, hanging out, playing volleyball in the pool. We're going to be snorkeling.
Wow.
We're going to be reading because we want to read.
Whoa.
And our kids are going to be having the best time ever.
A volleyball tournament.
Maybe a volleyball tournament. Then we're going to hang out with our kids in the afternoon and we're going to just play at the beach and relax and make sweet memories. Maybe the older kids will swim and we're going to stay in these cute little like overwater bungalows.
Wow.
Incredible seafood for dinner every night.
Wow.
And then we'll go home. And that entire trip, 12 to 14 days. So people are really going to have to save up their vacation days to come.
Yeah.
But because there's no budget, everybody gets a pre-trip expense stipend. So they can buy new bathing suits, clothes. I mean, you got to look your best.
Yeah.
And everyone gets a stipend for, if you're taking unpaid days of work.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure that you're covered.
You're taken care of.
We're taken care of.
We're even paying for your airport parking.
Yeah. And then we're, of course, paying for some kind of matching t-shirt or crew neck sweater because what is an epic trip like this without matching?
Wow.
matching
Maybe even
picture.
matching tattoo.
Well, I mean, for those of them that are interested, but
body art.
I think the crew neck sweater would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Wow.
if you're interested in coming on that trip with us,
save up.
Just keep being fun, keep being you, and can't wait to send you an invite in like a decade.
And one day when I finally go buy that lottery ticket and we make it,
We'll invite all of you.
yeah. If Tokyo and Fiji. Okay, I admit your trip is better than mine.
Well, I did have your entire answer to think of my trip.
You one-upped my trip.
Yeah, so you went and then I was like, oh, I could top that. But I think either way, I think they're both really fun. What a good question.
Cool.
All right, so next up.
Thank you, question asker. Next question. Let's see.
I like this one. Go ahead.
Which one?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I like the one somebody reached out and they said, Colin. It just some context clues led me to believe that this person is not a U.S. citizen. They're kind of relating to you in that way.
Yes.
And they wanted to know about how you adjusted to life in America and what that's been like, that journey.
Yeah, first of all, this is a listener from Malaysia. So, apa kabar semua di Malaysia? Harap semua dalam keadaan yang sehat. Terima kasih kerana Anda ingin mendengar podcast kami. Thank you for listening to our podcast. So, how did I end up in the U.S. or how did I adapt to living in the U.S.?
Yeah, probably more of the transition part of it.
Right. I moved here when I was 19 for college, and those beginning years, I would always think that I was the only Malaysian around. I used to have this thought, this formula in my head that I was like, there's probably not a Malaysian around me in a 300-mile radius, and maybe I was probably right. And so and that thought is kind of lonely, but what I did was I just kind of converted it and made it my superpower, and I was like, you know what, that makes me so unique and special. So that's how I kind of overcame being the Lone Ranger here in the U.S., especially in those early years of college, and even becoming an adult too. That was always like, you know what, like I have a cool story that I moved from a country to come here. I see on movies and TV a lot about people that have these immigrant parents. And I hear their stories and I relate so much to their American experience. But what is funny is that like I'm actually their parent. Like,
yeah, you're the immigrant.
I'm the immigrant, and so it's just a weird thing to hear from them, but then also to like, okay, like, I'm in it with you. And so America is, when I first came, it was all like, I had rose-colored glasses. Everything in America was bigger, better, tastier. My first week in America, I went to Disney World. I went to Universal Studios. And I went to college, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like the movies. Every day was summer camp. And then as years went on, of course, I graduated college, started getting a job, and then we met and got married. And then, all that kind of like, you start to learn the country, the good and the bad, and you take it for what it is. Every country has its good stuff. Every country has its junk, The hardest part of adapting was actually when I turned 30. So that was like almost 11 years after I moved here, was when I woke up one day and I had the realization that at the time I had a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they are the cutest girls in the whole world, and I love them so much. But then I realized that my whole family and a whole other part of my life that these 2 girls will never get to see. They are on the other side of the world, and so I have to try my best to figure out somehow how to get my family over to Malaysia, every 2-3 years if possible. And these are the decisions that you make, when you're like 18, 19, when you just want to see the world. And I came and I felt like I conquered the world, But 10 years later, you don't realize that like when those things that you said yes to, you were also saying, like, I didn't know that I was going to end up making a life here. That wasn't the plan. I didn't have a plan. But one day you wake up and you go, oh my gosh, I have a family of 4. 3 of them have American passports and they are citizens here. And so like as the dad, as the, the patriarch, or, me wanting to protect my kids, I'm like, I think I have to be a citizen here. I think there's a part of me that has to just like assimilate. Like I have to put roots down here. But then half of my heart, half of my identity is on the other side of the world. So it's just coming to terms with that. That's actually the hardest part. The first 10 years, it was fun.
It was fun.
It really was. And now I feel that tug. And so that's why, even this November, we're going home. We want to make time so that they can spend time with their grandparents, their cousins, their family. and eat the food that I ate and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying my best.
Yeah, you're doing great. Even when you were talking and you said, when you hear stories about people's parents immigrating from a different country and starting a life here, but you are that immigrant. Like, you are the parent that our girls will say, my dad immigrated and started a life here.
Yeah.
And I think that what's really remarkable about you, like, just to brag on you for a second, is like, you came here and what you're doing now, like, for a living is not what you didn't come here with any of those skill sets. Like, you came here and had to figure out, okay, you were a wedding photographer for a season and you were like, that's how I have to buy a car. So I'm going to teach myself how to take good photos or good enough photos so that I can get paid so that I can buy a car, because I need a car. No one's going to help me get a car. And then from there, it was like, okay, what's this other skill set that I can learn so that I can be a great asset to this company so that they can hire me full time? Well, I'm going to learn that so that I can accomplish that. And I just think that you've literally, now that we're married and we're doing things as a team, I'm proud to help be a part of this process and helping build a stronger foundation. But for the first 10 years you were here, you have so much of that immigrant story of creating and building a life out of not much. And I think that that's something that I'm really proud of you for, and our girls will be really proud of you for.
Yeah. I moved here with the 2 biggest suitcases like my dad could find at the store, and that's all I had. But and I've come to realize this too in life, as you look left and you look right, especially in your like mid 30s, the term like everyone has a different starting line. It really hits home, because a lot of times I can wake up and I feel super behind, and I'm like, why is that person doing this, or why do they have this and that and this and that? And you just have to be okay that everyone has a different starting line and everyone's on a journey. And I love my journey, and I love our family, and I love where we're going. And do we know what we're doing, where we're going most of the time? No, we're figuring it out, but we're figuring it out together. And yeah, we're just doing our best.
Yeah.
Doing our best.
That's right. It's all we can do.
That's all we can do.
All right. So let's switch it back to some travel questions, shall we?
Let's do this.
Though I love the personal ones.
Yes, that was nice. Thank you so much for that question.
Next question. Best affordable place to take toddlers in the USA?
All right. You want to go or can I go?
Go first.
Okay, cool. My place is not as unique or fun. But when I think toddlers, I think like 2 to 4 year olds, and they're easy to entertain, whether it's ice cream or sand, sticks, a ride, or something to look at that's like entertaining. And so, believe it or not, I'm going to say Orlando, but not just for the obvious reasons of Mickey and Friends. There's Legoland, there's SeaWorld, there's Peppa Pig Land. And then if you want to just connect with nature, there's all kinds of springs / cenotes that are just around the greater Orlando area. And those things are just fun. Like, you can go kayaking, go swimming, go see manatees. All that's there.
Yeah, so a good idea. Not that we're promoting Disney, but if you wanted to, you could make it affordable by just doing one day.
One day.
Some people go for a week. That's crazy expensive. But if you went for one day and then you went to a cenote or one of the water features around there, and then you head to the beach, and then maybe you do Peppa Pig Land. Like, you could kind of break it up and do a lot I think that's a good answer.
Oh, you can even do like Disney Springs, so you don't even need a ticket.
Yeah.
And
surprise, kids! Here's Disney.
I have a friend. Okay, I'm not gonna name names, but this dude, born and raised in Orlando, has 3 kids, and their kids were like 9 and 10. And one day I asked them, "Hey, what's your favorite Disney park?" They go, "Disney Springs," and I go, "Oh my gosh!" So I went over to Dad and I said, "You haven't taken your kids to Disney, haven't you?" He goes, "Man, I just don't like the marketing and capitalism." I'm like, "Come on!"
But now they have passes.
Now they have passes.
Yeah, their kids are old enough that they have passes.
Like, take your kids to Disney, man.
Okay, so my answer is a little bit more basic. I would tell you to just go to the nearest beach. So if there's one close to your hometown that's old news, don't go there. But if there's a fun city or a fun area within a 4 to 5 hour drive, go there, rent a cute little beach house or a hotel room. And there's really not much that can't be fun on a beach with little kids like that. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And go at a non-traditional time. So it might be really stressful to imagine a beach and sunscreen and all of that. No. On this vacation, you're going to sleep in or you're going to have a slow morning because your kids aren't sleeping in.
Yeah, no.
You're going to go somewhere fun for brunch. You're going to maybe go back home, let the kids nap. You're going to eat lunch. You're going to do something in the afternoon, maybe go get ice cream, maybe go down bebop around town, wherever you're visiting. And you're going to head to the beach at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock. And you're going to spend from 4 to 8. You're going to bring dinner, like takeaway subs. The sun's going to be going down. It's going to be cooler. You're going to have a sunset. And it's just a better time to go to the beach with little kids because they don't get so hot. You don't have to worry so much about the sunscreen. And then you're just going home, putting them to bed. So that's my idea for you, is just go to the nearest fun beach.
Right. And my other suggestion was to find a national park too.
That's true.
Those are probably not like, the activities wise is affordable. Lodging wise could be challenging. But I'm trying to think on top of my head what a national park with affordable lodging could be.
I would just say you have to kind of commit to the drive-in, and most parks could be affordable.
Yeah.
If you have like a 30 to 40 minute drive into the park, you're gonna hit some affordable housing.
Right.
But
yeah,
that's an idea. More outside things. A national park could be a little tricky for a toddler, depending on how remote it is.
You're right. Because a lot of them involve like a lot of moving around.
And hikes and less food.
Right.
So theme parks,
So hey,
beaches.
I stick with Orlando. That's pretty good.
Stick to Orlando.
And you just chose beach.
I just chose beach.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Next question. How do we choose where to go?
Easy. We go by whatever flight deal we get.
We definitely have some bucket list destinations that if a flight deal for that place came in, it would be like an immediate yes.
Right.
And so we kind of have that in mind, places we'd really like to visit.
Yeah.
And then all of our other choices are just based on cheap airfare. And then we think, seems beautiful. Let's go.
Yeah. Or like, by just getting inspired by other people's travels too. But one thing that was helpful for us right now we have a mission to visit 50 countries. And so that kind of helps, take away some of the pressure from like, we got to go to only the most beautiful countries, we'll just go somewhere because we want to see more things. But before, I remember we used to sort of have like a list and like a B list on my phone. Like we would kind of just have a list, and whenever the deal pops up for that, like you said, then it's an automatic yes. But that to me is the biggest thing. Like a flight deal is a flight deal.
Yeah. When you're traveling as a family of 4, flights just play a huge part of the overall budget. And so we do our best to take advantage of cheap fares. And sometimes that means taking a flight to one city, knowing that we can take a budget airline to the actual place that we want to go.
Right.
So we can get creative in that way too. And we live in South Carolina. We fly out of Atlanta, Greenville, which is an international airport, but smaller, Charlotte, and Washington, D.C., and New York. So we pretty much hit up the East Coast, and we let a cheap flight from any of those airports is doable in our opinion.
Yeah.
Because we know we can get there.
Even
to get
Orlando is the same drive from here to DC, and we're talking 7 hours.
Right.
But we have family in both of those places, and so it's a yes for us. So like, I think the answer to this question is not how do you choose where to go, but more like how do you enable yourself to go to more places.
True.
Yeah.
Which would be cheap airfare.
Yeah.
But we definitely do have A-list destinations, which we probably talked about a long time.
Oh, that's all we talk about in this podcast.
I know, all the places we want to go. Okay, last question.
Okay.
This is another personal one, but we're just going to do the abbreviated version.
Yeah.
But I thought it was nice to just hit it.
Let's go for it.
Okay, it says, how did you meet?
We met at a cafeteria in college.
We met at a cafeteria, but that was like a brief meeting. A friend introduced us. It was basically like, hey, you're my friend, meet each other.
Yeah.
Not even setting us up, literally just meet each other.
The year was 2009, and in that social climate, if you met someone in real life, that was permission enough to then add them on Facebook. Because, back then, everybody, if you meet someone, you just wanted to add them on Facebook. That was
Rack
the thing.
Up the friends.
Rack up the friends. And so I went home and added Megan Gillis on Facebook, and we were friends. But I would say we didn't become friends until many years later.
Yeah, like 2013. So for that 4-year time span, we worked at the same summer camp over the summer, but still it was like we knew each other existed, but we weren't really friends.
It wasn't until we worked in the same office,
which is 2012, the end of 2012.
And we had some mutual friends go separately. Hey, Megan, what do you think about Colin? Hey, Colin, what do you think about Megan? And we both had reactions that was permission enough for them to go, hey, I think it's a go. They're interested. You should pursue it.
Yeah. And so then Colin, that was in like December. And then January 2014, you were at my house. We were like throwing a birthday party for someone.
Right.
And you came up to me after the party, and we were like, for the last few weeks, we'd been like kind of giggly around each other. And you came up and you said, hey, after the party, can I take you to coffee? And I looked at my roommates.
This was 9:00 at night.
Yeah. I looked at my roommates and I was like, it's happening.
Right. And we dashed to the coffee shop, which was a block away. I ran in. The barista was a buddy of mine. He was shutting it down. And I said, whatever you do, please just let me come in here. Let me sit here. You can keep cleaning. Do you.
But leave the door unlocked.
Leave the door unlocked, please.
Yeah. So then we sat down at a little table. We didn't order anything.
No.
He was sweeping the floor, and we sat down at a table, and you basically just expressed your feelings and asked if you could be intentional in us dating.
Right. And
that was it.
That was it. The rest is history.
Yeah, that was January, and we got married in December. Engaged in August, married in December. So when we knew, it was like we really knew, and we just did the whole thing in a year. And so we've been married for 9 years ever since.
Yeah. And I think, though, what is cool about our experience that I don't think a lot of people will get to have these days is that I felt like it was a very communal experience. Like, we sort of had all our friends' approval.
Oh, totally.
Before we had the conversation. And that was what gave us so much like confidence
that it was a good thing. Because so many people we loved were like, yes, like you guys should date. Yeah, you should do this.
Everyone was in on it, you know. And I think that's just like kind of unheard of these days. And what a beautiful gift that we got, for us to have that.
Yeah. And even while we were dating, everyone was very involved. Our coworkers
in a
were involved, not in a bad way. But everyone was involved. And I think that's what made it fun. And also why I think when we got engaged and we got married all within 1 year, that it just felt like we had the support of people through the entire process, that it was like a green light, that it didn't feel too fast because we had so many people saying this is a good match.
Yeah. And, even though I was young and just an immigrant figuring life out, like we made it work.
Oh, I do remember when we were dating and your work visa was like going to expire, and we just sat outside the office because we worked at the same place at that time. Yeah. And we sat outside the office and we were like, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen, Megan? Like, I'm going to be in Malaysia. You're going to be here. Like, do we just like meet up in Dubai sometimes? Like, what are we going to do?
And then you just got an extension, right?
No, then our boss.
Oh, gave you a full-time job.
Championed me, believed in me enough, and vouched for me and gave me a work visa.
Man, we should really thank him for that.
I think I already have many times.
It would have been such a damper to have you, move away. Anyway, that's a little bit of our story.
We do have a story about me almost getting deported, but we can save that for another episode because, folks, that is our time that we have for today.
That's it. We want to be respectful of your walk or your dishes or your pickup.
Kids.
Yeah.
The next time you're going to hear from us, we're going to be live from the Faroe Islands.
Yeah, we can't wait to tell you all about it. So tune in next week. We can't wait to share, and don't forget to pack snacks.
Bye.